Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with the FX Market Insight for Tuesday, the 22nd of October. All right, now just coming into the Asian session here, pretty quiet Monday, as you usually would expect. But now, one of the things that's happening is, so these geopolitical events down here, the core market drivers, not only are they a nuisance, they are completely random, right? So I was just talking to a couple of traders over the last 24 hours, and they're sort of saying, well, it's good to see the analysis, okay, for all the pairs starting to really line up. And it is. But you have to understand that these geopolitical events that are in control of the currencies at the moment are random. They can change at any time. So there's not as much structure as normal market conditions where the central banks are in control of policy. They are sort of talking about raising rates, cutting rates, or whatever they're doing. At the moment, we don't have that clear sentiment, especially from the Fed, and it's waning across the board. So although the analysis is sort of starting to look cool, it's not exactly cool in my eyes. So, but in saying that, I mean, you've got to recognize that the currencies are moving. The Aussie in particular, another pair, which is not far off, about 50 points off breaking the daily trend line and the weekly. That's another pair that's going to be going up. Along with sterling and euro still sort of kicking into gear, and dollar CAD and dollar Swiss sort of heading lower as well. So it looks good, but just be careful, where things are coming from, as in the direction. So if I just give you a quick look at the overview of the news pages, I mean, Mondays, they're clutching at straws. There hasn't been a lot of stuff out. So, it's sort of talking about the dollar recovering. Loonie rises ahead of election results. Well, we do have the Canadian election coming up. The big deal was Brexit, and actually, funny enough, the Speaker of the House sort of said, look, they're not going to debate the same issue that they did on Saturday. It would be the same outcome. They've got 10 days to work this out, or 9 days, whatever it is. But the funny thing is, that's a bit of a negative reaction to what Boris is trying to get through on this deal, right? But sterling hasn't actually come off, which is a little bit kooky, weird. All right, Trump, okay, you've got to think the Donald, right, he's talking about praises US-China trade talks. So apparently they're coming along. To me, this is a signal that it's about to break down, right? He's so, flippant about the way he's doing things. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. And obviously in the news, a lot of news about Boris. So anyway, sterling, UK politicians, we've been through this the last couple of years, like just whatever, right? We just want them to do a deal and leave so we can actually start trading sterling like a normal currency pair again. Now, if you have a look at the technicals here at the moment, this is what I'm talking about. The hourly charts, okay, they are moving and they're moving in a specific direction, but it's not exactly nice trend lines, right? It's very hard to be drawing support trend lines off any of these levels at the moment. You've got like the low than the current market. Dollar yen, I thought it was going to start just drifting here yesterday, but you know what? It's just slowed right down as well. Everyone is in like slow motion here, waiting because of the geopolitical events that are coming out and can change direction very quickly. Everyone's happy to sit on the sidelines and wait. So euro, we've had that nice clean out back up. I mean, unbelievably back up to 111.5. Now sort of just drifting sideways, waiting for, the next major event. And we've got a few good euro things coming up. Not only the last ECB meeting for Draghi, but a number of other data releases. Here's sterling, right? So it's sitting around close to 130. Now, the vote has been knocked back, which is a bit of a stumbling block for Boris and the Brexiteers. So you'd think this would start to come off, but it hasn't yet. So this is a bit of an odd one to me. I can't work out what's going on. So still sterling a little bit confusing. Dollar CAD, if anything, is now probably the best short-term trending pair, right? It looks solid. Oil doesn't seem to be doing too much, which is good. It allows dollar CAD to do what's happening. Of course, we're waiting for the Canadian election result. I don't see any major policy changes from either party who wins. So I don't think that's going to be a massive thing. But we're probably safe or smart to wait for that result. But selling back towards 130, 140 looks like a pretty good thing to be looking at this stage. So when you come back to looking at where momentum is potentially going to come from, Okay, once again, we are always concentrating on the fundamental drivers. They're the ones that we can tangibly sort of hang our hat on, because that's what the central banks are going to be looking at. Now, as we come into Tuesday, retail sales, let me just fix that up. Retail sales, Canadian retail sales, and the Bank of Canada Business Outlook Survey. That's our sort of main go-to. I think you want to be focusing on dollar CAD. As I said, it's the best trending pair at the moment. So any positive retail sales data or positive outlook from the Bank of Canada, then we may see dollar CAD just really cruise to the downside. Now, don't get too sort of frustrated. I know it's with the markets not moving a hell of a lot, you can sort of get a bit antsy-pantsy. But, you know, like come Thursday, the euro is really going to kick into gear. Obviously, a bunch of euro data, the ECB meeting, as I said, Draghi's last meeting, press conference, and then you got durable goods out as well. So this is probably our main day. So what I'm trying to do is give you some focus for the week. Don't lose the plot just at the moment. Tuesday, pretty quiet. Dollar CAD's in the frame, but Thursday is the main trade day. So we've got a couple of days to sort of get through for that. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. The only thing we can do is, like everyone globally is tracking the technical side of things. They are starting to line up. It would be great to get a clearer picture, especially out of the two main ones, Brexit and the China-US trade issue. These two here have been going for some time. It would be great to get a resolution on both, and then we can sort of sit back and see how Donald handles the impeachment proceedings, which, you know what, there's a few things going on with Brexit and everything else, and the Canadian election. So what happens with the news services is they drop the story, okay, because there's no point running with all these big headlines. Once they're out of the way, the Trump impeachment stuff will be back as a headline. Don't worry about that. All right, guys, that's it from me. Not much else to really give you to sink your teeth into, but, you know, the technical side is building. All right, guys, have a good trade day. Cheerio.